I've been in politics long enough to watch people crumble under pressure. I've seen politicians face brutal questioning, sweeping investigations, and relentless scrutiny. But what we're witnessing right now with Donald Trump is something entirely different. This isn't stress. This isn't frustration. This is a full-scale meltdown from a man who knows the walls are closing in, and he's panicking. What just happened is historic. Congress has issued a demand to Donald Trump that he cannot ignore, cannot spin, and cannot escape. And his response? Pure, unfiltered panic. The kind of reaction you only see when someone knows that compliance means exposure, and exposure means accountability. The kind of reaction that tells you, without a doubt, that something very damaging has been hidden for a long time. I've served in government at every level. I've dealt with Congress as a governor, as a president, and as a private citizen. I understand congressional oversight. I understand the Constitution. I understand Congress's authority to demand documents, issue subpoenas, and investigate wrongdoing. And I can say with absolute certainty, what Congress is demanding from Trump right now is completely lawful, entirely legitimate, and exactly what our founders intended. So, what is this bombshell demand? Congress is requiring Trump to turn over a massive collection of documents and communications related to his conduct after his criminal convictions and during his ongoing legal battles. This includes financial records showing how his legal defense is being funded, communications with foreign entities while under federal indictment, documents related to his attacks on the justice system, and evidence of potential witness intimidation following his convictions. This is not a fishing expedition. This is a targeted, comprehensive demand based on credible evidence of continued misconduct, even after juries found him guilty. And Trump's reaction has been explosive. He's rage-posting on Truth Social around the clock. He's attacking members of Congress by name. He's threatening lawsuits, retaliation, and chaos. Everything except compliance. And the reason is obvious. He knows that if these documents are made public, his entire house of cards collapses. When I was in office and Congress demanded information, even when I believed the request was politically motivated, I understood something fundamental. Congress has constitutional oversight authority. I didn't always like it. I sometimes fought it, but I never flat out refused, and I never launched unhinged personal attacks, because that's not how a functioning democracy works. Trump, however, believes he is above the system. He thinks loyalty from his base, social media outrage, and screaming witch hunt are enough to shield him from accountability. They are not, especially not now, when he's already been convicted on 34 felony counts and is facing sentencing while running for president. The congressional demand is incredibly specific. It targets documents from the period after his conviction. It names specific individuals, specific dates, and specific communications. It seeks financial records that could reveal conflict of interest or corrupt dealings while he campaigns as a convicted felon. And it comes with a hard deadline. Not a request, a deadline. And here's what's driving Trump absolutely insane. Congress has made it clear there will be consequences for noncompliance. Real consequences. Contempt charges. DOJ referrals. Potential new criminal exposure for obstruction. This is not political theater. This is Congress using its constitutional authority, with teeth, against someone already convicted of serious crimes. Trump's lawyers are scrambling. Truly scrambling. They're trying to thread an impossible needle, avoid contempt charges without handing over documents that could be devastating. And they know those documents likely show conduct ranging from unethical to outright criminal, all occurring after Trump was already convicted. Here's what I believe is in those documents. I believe there are communications showing coordination with foreign entities while under indictment. I believe there are financial records revealing questionable sources of funding for massive legal bills. I believe there are messages demonstrating witness intimidation even after conviction. I believe there's evidence of continued obstruction of justice and violations of release conditions. That's why he's unraveling in public. The timing matters. This demand comes after his New York conviction, after multiple indictments elsewhere, and after mounting evidence of continued misconduct. Congress didn't wake up one day and decide to do this. They already know enough to know exactly what to look for, and they want the paper trail to prove it conclusively. Trump knows that too. He knows witnesses have talked. He knows Congress has corroborating evidence. He knows they wouldn't be this precise unless they were already closing in. And now he's trapped, refused to comply, and he faces contempt and obstruction charges. Comply, and the documents expose new crimes. Watch his public behavior. It's becoming increasingly erratic. Wild conspiracies, unhinged accusations, personal attacks. This is not confidence. This is desperation. Congress's authority here is crystal clear. Oversight is a core constitutional function, repeatedly upheld by the Supreme Court. Investigating a convicted felon running for president is not controversial. It's necessary. But Trump doesn't believe in checks and balances. He never has. To him, accountability is persecution. Oversight is treason. Democracy is an inconvenience. And now, for the first time, the system isn't blinking. This demand is also significant because it's coordinated across multiple committees with some bipartisan backing. In today's polarized climate, that alone tells you how serious this is. Members of Congress, including some Republicans, have privately described the evidence they've already seen as staggering. They believe the requested documents are the final pieces, the smoking guns. Trump's response tells you everything. Instead of denying with facts, he attacks. Instead of cooperating, he threatens. Instead of defending himself legally, he encourages harassment. That is not the behavior of an innocent man. That is the behavior of someone cornered and dangerous. The financial records alone could be explosive. They may reveal foreign money, illegal campaign finance practices, or quid pro quo arrangements tied to legal defense funding. Trump has spent his entire life hiding his finances. Even after conviction, he's fought relentlessly to keep them secret. Now Congress is demanding them. They're also seeking communications with his lawyers, normally privileged, unless the crime-fraud exception applies. And if lawyers were used to facilitate new crimes after conviction, that privilege disappears. Trump will fight this in court. He will lose. The law is clear. The demand is narrow, justified, and backed by evidence. Delay is his only strategy, hoping the election saves him. Congress isn't waiting. They've made clear they're prepared to enforce compliance, including contempt, DOJ referrals, and even inherent contempt powers. Rare? Yes. Unthinkable? No, not under these circumstances. This moment echoes Watergate. Nixon fought disclosure, lost, and resigned when the evidence became undeniable. Trump is different. He's already been convicted, already impeached, and still refuses accountability. Congress is now demanding a full accounting of his conduct as a convicted felon, and that, more than anything, is why Donald Trump is absolutely terrified.